This week, President Trump announced his nomination of Judge Neil Gorsuch of the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals to be the next Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court. It took Chuck Schumer, the Democratic leader, about 35 seconds to come out with a statement in opposition to Judge Gorsuch, which of course means that he had statements prepared for any nominee that President Trump put forward. That kind of tells you all you need to know, and in the wake of his announcement, his allies have followed suit. Interestingly, what they've attacked Judge Gorsuch on is his philosophy, not his credentials or his qualifications. Elizabeth Warren says, well, the president didn't nominate a consensus candidate, meaning somebody that agreed with them more. That's very interesting as we go into the confirmation process, because the Democrats are going to have a very difficult job taking on Neil Gorsuch on the record itself. First of all, he was confirmed by a voice vote when he went on to the Circuit Court of Appeals. That meant that it was deemed to be a non-controversial appointment. And the circuit courts are really where most of the work is done at the federal appellate level. Way more cases, thousands in particular, come to the Circuit Courts of Appeals, whereas only a handful ever get considered by the Supreme Court. Now the Democrats are going to say, oh, it's different when you're going to rise to the Supreme Court than the work done on the appellate courts that are of the lower jurisdiction, but that's a tough case to make. The numbers actually are what ultimately control. Can the Republicans get from their 52-seat majority to 60 votes for Judge Gorsuch to avoid the so-called nuclear option of doing away with the 60-vote rule? Harry Reid and his Democratic friends took away that rule several years ago for most federal appointments and lower court judges in the federal system. Reid now says he regrets that, with good reason. It would not be the best course for Republicans to take away that nuclear option for a whole lot of reasons, not the least of which is the shoe ultimately and inevitably gets to be on the other foot. The better course is to stay with the impeccable credentials of Judge Gorsuch, his legal scholarship, his temperament, and his proven record. That will bring some Democrats to the table. The other thing, of course, is those Democrats up in 2018 who ran and will run in states carried overwhelmingly by Donald Trump. A lot of leverage in there. The games are just beginning. Let's stay tuned. And that is the best 60 seconds of your week.